it is our English lesson, and let's just jump straight in. We are going to check our checklist, to see if we've used the skills. If we haven't used that skill, we are going to include it in our story. So let's look at the first one. I can use conjunctions to extend sentences. So conjunctions are like and, because, and we've also looked at boys' conjunctions, but, or, yet, and so. Let's have a quick look. And I'm reading through my story and I'm looking now for conjunctions just to check if I've used any. And that's a conjunction. Are there any other examples? I've got another and here. So I have used conjunctions to extend sentences. They're not the most interesting conjunctions because it's just and, but if I have time I can go back and edit that. Next one. I can use expanded noun phrases. So instead of just saying the thing, the tomb, the door, we've got an adjective in there to give more detail to it. So let's have a look. Reading through again to check if I've used it. The newly discovered tomb. It's not just the tomb, it's the newly discovered tomb. So I have used this. Next one. I can use a to-a sentence with a comma between the adjectives. So instead of just being an expanded noun phrase, it's even more. It's got two adjectives and a comma between them to give lots of detail about that noun. So let's have a look. I don't think I've used one, but let's check. So I'm reading through my story. No, I haven't used a to-a sentence. So what I need to do now is go to my story, look for a noun that I want to add more detail to, so I can use two adjectives for it. So, here I've got a noun, the tomb door. So the tomb door, that's not telling me much about that door. So let's think of a couple of adjectives we can write here to tell the reader more about this door. So the intimidating. So by saying it's intimidating, that's telling the reader that it's really big, maybe quite bulky. Intimidating, comma, because I want to use another adjective, the intimidating stone tomb door. So here, I've now got a to-a sentence, so now I can tick this off. Brilliant. So next one, I can use fronted adverbials followed by a comma. I know I've done that. I've started with some of my paragraphs with fronted adverbials because I think they're a brilliant way to start sentences and paragraphs to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm not always writing Sammy did this or she did that. I'm telling the reader where, when or how it's happening. So storm was breaking, that's when it's happening. Like a flash, that's how it's happening. So I've definitely got fronted adverbials. Okay, next one. I can include and correctly punctuate direct speech. In my story, Sammy doesn't say anything. So now I'm going to have to think of somewhere in the story she might talk. Because speech is a great way to give your character a bit more personality. So your reader knows a bit more about them. Because how we talk says a lot about who we are, and if we're shouting things we might be quite an angry person, so we can show that in our story for our character as well. So let's have a look. Where could Sammy say something? Here. She goes to the door, the intimidating stone door, and it was locked. If I'm trying to break into somewhere and the door's locked and she can't get in, I'd be quite frustrated. So I think that's somewhere that she might say something about how frustrated she is. I want to show that frustration. So I'm using my inverted commas to start speech. Oh no. Remember your punctuation at the end of your speech goes inside your inverted commas. Oh no, she whispered. Oh no, she whispered. And then she was a cheater opening the door. So she's saying oh no because she's feeling frustrated. And then I've got a metaphor here to tell the reader that she's really fast opening the doors because cheaters are really fast. Oh no, she whispered. So I've now included my speech and I've punctuated it correctly. I've used my inverted commas. I can use similes. I remember I used one right at the start. Sammy was hiding in the sand like a snake. So we're comparing Sammy to a snake by using the words like or as. I'm not saying she is a snake. That would be a metaphor. And talking about metaphors, we just spotted one down here, didn't we? She was a cheater. She's not actually a cheater. We're just saying that she is, and that's the metaphor. Last one, I can organise my writing into paragraphs. Well, you can see here that I've got a few sentences and then I've got a gap between this group of sentences and the next because I've started talking about something different. So I have used paragraphs. And there we go. I went through my checklist and if I found a skill I hadn't used, I put it into my story. And that is one way that we're going to edit today. When you're reading your story, remember to check for capital letters and full stops because sometimes we forget them. That's all right, you just need to go back and check. Okay, well, I'd like you all to edit your stories and then send them back to me or send me some of the sentences that you have included to show your editing. Looking forward to reading them again and finding out what your ideas are and how you're going to improve those stories. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Bye.